Hello, this is Lara from Pure Elliott Wave with your daily update for Bitcoin, Ethereum and XRP. Before I get into today's analysis, a little reminder to like, subscribe and make a comment. All of your engagement helps my YouTube channel grow. Bitcoin first. This is not yet developing to a pivot. This is going to be important later. If we're going to see a pivot develop here, then we need to see tomorrow complete a downward session. And then we'd be able to compare this little small pivot, it's got two downward sessions here, with the following pivot. Yesterday, price closed above resistance at 35,000 with push from volume, which was good to see, but so far today, it's immediately returning back below that point, and so that point is still providing resistance, although now, with a couple of breaks, it's been weakened. If price does continue lower, I would expect eventual support about 31,000, but for now, it looks like we're most likely going to see a continuation of the sideways consolidation. If price can break above resistance again, now let's wait for another full session above that area before we have confidence in an upward breakout, and it should come with support from volume. The golden cross is lagging support for a bullish case. Volume is overall declining as price moves sideways, but does have push from volume on upward sessions, particularly last session, so that's still good for a bullish case. The volume profile remains bullish. ADX tells us there is an upward trend, but it is now very extreme and getting toward danger territory for this market. So if we start to see some bearish divergence develop between price pivots and RSI and or money flow, then we might be looking for a deeper pullback. I expect it's coming up soon now, but not quite here yet. Here is the last pivot and point in RSI. If we see a pivot develop after yesterday's session, if we see tomorrow's session continue lower, then we'll see a pivot develop in price, and then we can compare these 2 points with the corresponding 2 points in price to see if there is bearish divergence. We might be able to do that tomorrow. If bearish divergence does develop between price pivots and corresponding points in RSI, because ADX is now very extreme, then we could expect a deeper pullback could turn up sooner rather than later. We'll be looking for divergence also to develop between price and money flow. For now, focus on the fact that there is still an upward trend and a bullish volume profile, but price is retaining resistance about 35,000. On the daily chart, the Elliott Wave count for Ethereum had a target at 1864 for Minuet Wave 5 to reach equality in length with Minuet Wave 1. That target has reached and been exceeded by $10.87, so that target's no longer in play and it was a little bit inadequate. This current session is developing a bearish engulfing candlestick pattern. We'll have a look at classic technical analysis to see how much support this view has for a deeper pullback for Minute Wave 2. If we are seeing a deeper pullback, it might be in the very first day of starting to develop. It may continue for about a week or two, it may not move beyond the start of one below 1521.78, may find support about the lower edge of this channel, which I've copied over from the weekly chart, and may find support about the logarithmic function of the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio at 1648.04. On the daily chart for Ethereum, here is the bearish engulfing pattern. Initially, we'll expect support about 1800. If price breaks through that, let's look for next support about 1716. The volume profile remains bullish. ADX is extreme, but the trend is not very extreme. There's actually a ways to go before this trend is in danger territory of ending. Doesn't mean we can't get a bigger pullback here, but it just puts that Elliott Wave count expectation for Minute Wave 2 in a little bit of doubt today. If we see a pivot develop, we won't be seeing bearish divergence between price and RSI. We need to wait for the pivot to develop in price before we look for divergence, but RSI is making higher highs along with price yesterday, so there can't be any divergence even if a pivot does develop here. So with RSI overbought and no bearish divergence, ADX extreme but not very extreme, we could have a pullback here as the Elliott Wave count expects, but also we could continue higher to another high before that deep pullback ends. The Elliott Wave count may be a little bit early in expecting that deeper pullback. It will come, but it might not come right now. Likewise for XRP, I can now see a complete 5-wave structure up to the high for today's session, and a shooting star bearish reversal candlestick pattern may be developing. If there's a 5-step forward pattern complete for XRP, we might be looking also here for a 3-step back pattern to start to develop. Look for support about the logarithmic function of the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio at 0.5273, and minuet 2 may not move beyond the start of 1 below 0.4743. Daily technicals for XRP still finding resistance at 62 cents, may be developing a bearish shooting star candlestick reversal pattern. Look for support now quite strong about 54 cents. I did have this at 55 cents, but I'm going to pull it across these lows now and say that we're likely to get support at 54 cents now. The volume profile for XRP also remains bullish. The candlestick reversal pattern comes in the context of an extreme upward trend, but not very extreme. It's still got a little bit of a ways to go before it gets as extreme as it could get for this market. And we won't be seeing any bearish divergence develop between price and RSI either after a pivot on price develops, because yesterday both price and RSI were moving higher. Nor will we be seeing bearish divergence between price and money flow. And so that puts a little bit of doubt again for both XRP and Ethereum on the conclusion from the Elliott Wave count that we're looking for a big 3-step back pattern down here. Now it could turn up now as the Elliott Wave counts expect, but in order for confidence in that view, I want to see tomorrow complete as another red candlestick moving price lower. If that happens, then I would have a little bit more confidence in the view from the Elliott Wave counts. Sometimes, and this is one of the biggest drawbacks of Elliott Wave, sometimes it can be early. It can call trend changes too early, and it's all to do with the degree of labeling within part or all of your wave count. So I want to see a little bit of bearish confirmation tomorrow before I have real confidence in the conclusion from those two Elliott Wave counts. That's it today from me with your quick update. I hope everyone's having a lovely day.